These
Hello.
nuts people were back. Hello.
Oh my god, that peaked.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to peak on your end.
We peaked so early into this stream.
Oh, indeed we did. Alright, hello everybody, how's it going? We're back with another delectable episode. It's another one that's Pokemon related, as today we are doing battle facilities. However, how are y'all guys doing?
I'm good.
That's good.
See, I'm gonna let everyone know. Okay,
Yeah.
C-Core gave me crap for being late last time, so I'm gonna give him crap for being 4 whole minutes late. 4 whole minutes.
It's true. I was 4 entire minutes late. I'm gonna sip my water and act like this matters. Oh god, I almost choked.
Alright, guys.
Ah!
It's time. Alright. I want you to go comment in the comment section. Tell him how awful he was for being 4 minutes late.
That's right, people. Leave a comment on the YouTube thing,
harassment.
and for the on the Spotify, there is a question and answers tab. You can leave answers there, and I will make the question: how much should I be flogged for being 4 minutes late to to our podcast? It's not my own podcast; it's really all of us. But
Death.
What the
Death
fuck?
is
No!
the
Oh my god! Oh.
I like wonder what kind of deranged answers we can get if we could just let them ask anything.
Oh my god.
We probably might just be able to do an episode if we get enough questions and see how we can like answer them in the worst ways possible.
I would love that. We
live
just need to build our audience first, which means we all need to put this on social media and stuff. Anyway.
we live in Japan, guys. Okay, so 4 minutes is like death. Okay.
4 minutes is death in Japan?
Pretty much, yeah. You're late for your job for 4 minutes, you're dead.
Oh no, it's just a bit of a superstition around the number 4 in general because I think it has to do with like in the same way that we see the number 13 as bad luck. It's kind of in that similar vein.
Yeah, like how Odin, when he
Why?
joins, Odin's gonna die in that case because he's gonna be the last person to join because only 4 people are in this
He's been
podcast.
fired from his job. Yeah, Odin, you're fired. You're not even here to know you're fired. Ooh.
The life
Yeah,
hours.
C4, get out.
Okay. Oh, I do have a thing to share though. Two things actually. So one of my fiance's coworkers, I'm not going to name his name because I don't like him. Also because why not? Or why do it? Whatever. He last week his wife and son had lice, but he did not, and he said that he'd be fine. And fast forward to today, he fucking has lice. Like,
Next thing you.
Well, I mean, as they say, karma is a bitch.
well, it's like, well, this is the really stupid coworker that, oh my god, I can't exaggerate when I say how dumb this person is. Like, he makes Billy from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy look like Einstein. Like, it's that bad, the stories that I've heard from Emily. But another thing, this is also somewhat work related. Our work has like it's kind of like a broadcast system, kind of like National Health or National Weather Service kind of things. Like they'll alert you to like if a tornado's about to form in your area or something like that. You know, there's alerts that go out, and then they ask the employees.
Whenever
like,
C4, yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever you have to use the bathroom, they'll let you know.
They'll
let everyone in the state know.
Maybe not that, but you know, it alerts you to like certain different things that are happening, like with inclement weather, or you know, if there's an Amber Alert. But it's LabCorp's own system. This is to my understanding. So our company system, they're doing a test of it today, and pretty much around 2 p.m., which means I need to yeet my phone so it doesn't just peak my microphone, probably. Pretty much, it's going to go off at some point around 2 today, my time, and alert people. Well, everyone at work has been... I don't know what conspiracy theory juices they've been sipping on in the mornings and what toilet bowl they've been drinking from, but...
Weed's a great drug.
No, weed
Yeah.
weed is absolutely glorious for a plant. It needs to be legal plant, and we should all be able to partake in the indulgence of weed. I support this as me and my own personal opinion. However, that's not what I'm talking about. People have been drinking from the toilet bowl at my workplace because some people have been talking about the fact that if you use your phone today, the government will be sending microwave radioactive brain waves at you through your devices, and that if you're on them today at 2 p.m., that your brain is going to be mind controlled through your phone. And I'm just like, it's just weird shit like that, and it's literally all because of this broadcast thing. Like, they just...
Dude, that is some like flat Earth type shit.
It is! It's literal flat earther shit! And I'm just like, what? What? Like,
Nico's
what
over
litter
here
box have you
looking
been
at this,
eating
like-
from to get this opinion?
I wonder if the toilet bowl they've been drinking from is lead poison.
Bro, it's probably lead poisoned, and it's a gas station toilet. Like, I don't understand. It's so
You have to
dumb.
remember that I also like think in images a lot, so this visual is absolutely horrible to me.
I hope you draw
It's also probably
someone.
abs-
I hope you just draw someone.
No, don't make me. No.
Or
You know I
animate
can't
it.
do
You
that,
should
bro.
animate it for your professor in class.
What?
Just animate a character drinking out of a toilet bowl. You can make
Oh.
it cute and have it be a dog.
Can someone remind me how
What have we
any
done?
of this... How does this circle back to Pokemon?
It doesn't. That's the thing.
Because
Okay.
I got it. It's because the battle facilities in Pokemon also drink toilet water. Flam, that's your
No.
cue. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So, let me just say, explain what this is all about first, because our poor listeners' brains are probably just way off track right now because of all the bullshit we've spouted.
I'm very good at
But
turning
anyway.
people's brains off.
You've certainly done so with mine. That's for sure.
Anyway,
I don't have one anymore.
so what are the battle facilities?
So, remember from the episode where we talked about our Pokemon journeys, where that I ended up joining pretty late.
Yes.
It wasn't
No.
like until I didn't mention this in that episode, but I only like really got into competitive Pokemon like at around Gen 8 when it had all those quality of life stuff dedicated to building competitive mons because of Hell Divers being really accessible, the breeding mechanics being
Much easier.
being as accessible as ever, yeah. And also the introduction of mints and all that other EV training stuff.
Oh my god, the mints. The mints are a godsend. I cannot
The
tell
mints
you
suck, man.
how long,
They taste garbage.
how many moons I spent trying to find a little Gibble that had a jolly nature or an adamant nature. Because one, it's like, wasn't it in Gen 4, it's like the very rare catch in that one cave. It's like the rarest chance to run into
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and this is
No.
OG DPP. This is the one where you don't actually see the Pokemon in the grass, walking around and stuff. Because wasn't that the life change that we got with BDSP?
No. In BDSP, you can only see the overworld Pokemon in the underground. It's still just
Oh!
it's still just invisible counters.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
everywhere else.
well, even better than that then. So well, I didn't get a Gibble in BDSP. I got myself a Mamoswine because I love Mamoswine. And yes, it does have Rock Tomb on it. But yeah, no, like, I've spent so many hours trying to find a Gibble. So just having the mints be a thing, oh my god, that saves so much time for everybody. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, in the same game as Sword of Shield, I remember spending like an oddly long amount of time on the Battle Tower and some of the other stuff that they had. I particularly remember in the Olive Armor they had like a restricted sparring mode where you could only like take you basically had like a monotype team that you could take into pretty much an endless streak of battles, and that was like one of the best ways to gather BP. To get more held items, more mints, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And I like started to wonder how older gens handled this kind of competitive stuff. And yeah, that's where the battle facilities came in. And as I was like replaying through games like Soul Silver, I found out that they had the Battle Frontier from Platinum in this one as well, and it actually gave me an incentive to revisit that game even more, and I'm still like playing it to this day, trying to like complete everything that it has to offer.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah,
Now,
I suppose I could better give an overview on what the Gen 4 Battle Frontier actually is all about, because I feel like it's kind of the poster child of Battle Facilities for me, because I didn't get to experience the Gen 3 at all, and by extension, Emerald's Battle Frontier, which kickstarted it off.
I
And,
know the Hoenn
you know,
Frontier was like a really big thing because people
mhm.
liked the Battle Frontier a lot. And I think there was even something called the Battle Frontier in the anime.
Yeah, like they actually kind of adapted it into its own season of sorts.
Yeah, that's right. And that's when Ash actually managed to become telepathic with his fucking Pokemon, and they never brought that mechanic back whatsoever. I think it
Doesn't
was
like the
also
the
the
old
same season that he met the original
the
Reggie
Lucario?
Trio.
Oh no, I was like gonna say that like if the aura thing that he has with Lucario doesn't count.
It's not it doesn't count because even though it's similar, it's a little different. The way they did telepathy in this one episode, there was one girl that didn't mind Brock's advances, if I'm not mistaken. So it was like
Yeah.
the one time that Brock could actually kind of get with a girl, he doesn't even get it because he's weirded out by her not slapping him. And keep in mind, this is like 2 years ago I saw this episode. Maybe a year, whatever. It's been a long time. So Ash goes to battle this Battle Frontier Brain. I'm pretty sure it's Frontier Brain is what they were called.
Yeah.
She has a Metagross and I believe an Alakazam and a couple other things.
That's the one from the Battle Tower. Annabelle, I believe, was her name, and she also like reappeared in Gen 7.
I don't quite remember, but I just remember she was, psychic type trainer. Well, the first
Mhm.
time Ash battles her, he absolutely gets decked because she can telepathically communicate to her Pokemon exactly what she wants them to do and how to do it, etc., etc. Ash, in one episode, learns how to do this, and then when he battles her again, does the same thing that she did and beats her with her own skill, because you kind of have to when you can telepathically communicate everything you need to without saying it. So the other trainer is just left unprepared for what you're doing. And plot armor, obviously, he wins. But this is a thing that is a skill that Ash canonically develops. Nah, it's never brought back. He can never telepathically communicate again. Because he literally told in his brain Pikachu used Thunderbolt without ever saying it, and it happened. That type of thing.
Makes you wonder how Red in the mainline games commands his Pokemon with him never speaking.
He
At
just
least
like
in his
He just gives a glare to his Pokemon. They're like, oh shit, we use a move. This one. I don't really know what Red's personality would be like, but considering he's basically mute.
Anyway, while we're like talking about plot armor, that is definitely what some of the experiences that I've had with.
Use hand job.
What?
Why? What have we done? I. Not.
Couldn't help it.
Not.
Anyway, so Battle
Swear to
Frontier, you
God,
didn't really get into that, but I know you've been doing Heart Gold Soul Silver, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Oh, and speaking of, I did start playing the Battle Tower in BDSP, in which I've learned that Staraptor is an absolute menace, and not even a reckless Staraptor. Intimidate is actually a little better, simply because Intimidate. It's so fast, at base 100 speed this generation, you're outspeeding a lot of Pokemon with base 100. And Staraptor still hits incredibly hard, but U-turn is the gem that completes it, because it can just pivot out after the Intimidate very easily and be able to come back later. And obviously Brave Bird just finishes everything off late game, or late battle. So, I've learned Staraptor's very good. Mamoswine is okay. It's still a Mamoswine, obviously. And then the other Pokemon I was using was Empoleon, because I haven't really, competitively built anything. As long as Empoleon lands Hydro Pump, I'm happy. But I did start doing
just
a little.
Nice. But yeah, just generally being able to hit hard and just prevent the opponent from just doing anything is just probably like the best way to go about it, especially when you're working with like a 3-on-3 format.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, I probably should like get into some of the gimmicks that the facilities have and how it really makes them stand out the way they do.
Okay.
We can ignore the battle tower for now because it's basically just like no gimmick whatsoever, other than you have to just get.
You have to what?
But you have to just mostly get good.
You have to get good, okay.
But yeah, the one thing that most if not all of the facilities have in common is that they have this streak system that rewards more BP as you rack up more wins, which you can use to buy more the held items, TMs, all the good stuff that allows you to build competitive mons and
Yeah.
use those to get further into the whole shebang.
Yeah.
And eventually, at around the end of your third streak, one streak in Battle Frontier is usually like around 7 battles, and starting from the third streak, you will face the Frontier Brain for the silver print of that respective facility, which is basically like a sort of commemorative achievement mark for your streak, if I could put it that way.
Okay.
The ultimate goal, however, is the gold print, which you achieve at around the 7th streak, which will be like around your 50th battle. And given the amount of bullshit that can happen in all of those 50 battles, and considering that you have to start over all the way back from the beginning if you lose, yeah, you got yourself a mighty task on your hands, that's for sure.
I know you've spent quite a lot of time. You've even made a tier list, right? Of all the different ones you can encounter.
Yeah, this one was mostly based off of my experience in the Battle Factory mainly, which great segue by the way. Which operates by basically when you start a new streak on the Battle Factory, you will be presented with 6 random rental mons, which you can pick 3 of to assemble a team with, and during the 7 battles of a streak that you go into, you can you can swap one Pokemon of your opponent with yours at the end of a battle, which also synergizes with one little like help slash hint that you can get at the beginning of every battle, where the NPC will tell you what mons your opponent has, so you can swap accordingly to get a better advantage. Now, as your streak goes on and on, you will get less hints, um, which means you will they won't outright mention some of the mons, or they will only um say the main move that that mon has in its moveset.
Oh, so they could just say earthquake, and then you're like, oh, well, that can be anything.
Yeah, like starting from the fifth streak and onward, the only thing you will get is either something along the lines of the opponent doesn't seem to be concerned about the types of Pokemon, or they're good with that specific typing, which doesn't even guarantee that they'll lead with that specific type. So
Oh.
like you get absolute jack shit to work with, and you just have to
Oh.
rely on your team building skills.
Right. And that, I remember because I've given you some suggestions, and I told you that Licky Licky was a good Pokemon.
Hmm. Yeah, and I did trust you on that part because it had genuinely good coverage on the moves that it had.
Yeah, and it's a Licky Licky. It will not die in one hit. That bitch is a fucking Wobbuffet. It's not dying in one hit. It's just not.
So yeah, another little weird quirk that I've come across after doing so many runs of the Battle Factory is that oftentimes the last battle of a streak, like especially towards the beginning before you get the silver print, at like which I also described earlier. Usually, the seven battle tends to have a bit of a difficulty spike in the first few streaks, where they will immediately have middle stage not fully evolved mons, while you're just stuck with mostly little cup unevolved mons.
Oh. Also, like, you'd
So
be
that can
fighting, like, a Rose. So you're using, like, I'm trying to think. So you'd have like a Voltorb, and they'd
yeah,
have a Roselia.
yeah, something along those lines.
Oh.
Or they'll straight up have middle stages, like say a Gabite or a Primate, or yeah.
Oh, so they could have an Electrode or an Aerodactyl. Well, no,
uh
Aerodactyl's just a
no,
single one.
no, because some of the mons are divide. They weirdly enough, they divided the mons that you can encounter in two groups, corresponding to base stat total.
Oh, okay. So, like, you're more likely to fight something in a certain base stat category.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is why you can still get some really strong middle stage mons, such as the first stages of the pseudos, or like I mentioned earlier, stuff like Primate that just hits really freaking hard.
Yeah.
And yeah, that tends to be a bit of a hurdle when starting up a new streak.
So that's like the first really big hurdle in the Battle Factory.
Mhm.
See, I want to do the Battle Factory, but they don't exactly have that in BDSP. They have the Battle
Yeah.
Tower, and it makes me sad because it's like I would rather use the rental Pokemon, honestly.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, because the Battle Factory is also the one you should definitely go for first if you start with a Battle Frontier run completely fresh if you go into Platinum or Heart Gold or Silver, because of course you don't need to put in the time and effort to actually build up a competitively viable team, because this facility also hands out the most BP consistently after completing one streak.
um, yeah, and I honestly think genuinely I've like because I've started when I play competitive Pokemon on Showdown.
Mhm.
I
Yep.
actually prefer the random tiers so much more than building the teams myself. And it's not because I'm
Mhm.
lazy and don't want to build the teams. I actually love team building. It's because it's genuinely different. Because you don't know what you're going to get. And I'm at the point where I know so much about so many Pokemon. I can almost, like, anything up to, I think, Gen 6, I can damn near tell you every single base stat of the Pokemon verbatim. Obviously, I can't tell you all the baby Pokemon stats. Like, I couldn't tell you Scraggy, which I think Scraggy is 75 attack.
60.
It's 60 attack. It's 60 attack, 65 on its defenses, or 70 on its defenses. No, I don't know what its special attack is, and it's 50 base speed.
But yeah, you
Also,
get the idea. You
yeah.
get to kind of get to know the limits of what you can do with them and
Yeah,
how
and
you can exploit that with what you get.
yeah, and I
Like
know that they're not. Oh well, no,
I'm
I'm
like
thinking
really
of.
of the work. Hmm? Yeah, go
I'm
on.
sorry. I was thinking of how Showdown does the random battles, where everything has 84 put into every stat, as far as EVs go. So everything has fake defense, fake damage, fake everything.
Uh
Um,
huh.
and I wasn't thinking about how in Battle Factory, because I've seen some of the list of things, they actually do have maxed out stats.
Hmm.
Which, same difference, really, but. Well, not same difference, it's obviously a little different, but like, because they're giving you this thing that you didn't create, and now you have to figure it out, and I like that. Because I'm
Like I'm
so
very yeah, like
acquainted.
so accustomed to what you yourself can do with.
Yeah. Like, everyone knows how to run a Garchomp. You run Earthquake, you run three other moves, and you put an item on it and say, alright, we're good to go, do damage. Or an Excadrill. An Excadrill is so simple. Earthquake, Iron Head, other move, and other move. Or
But
maybe Swords Dance.
but say you get a Garchomp that suddenly has like a white herb Dracometer and all special.
Yeah. Yeah, like it changes it because I've seen that when I was playing. I think it was Gen 5 because you can get rental mons in that, or maybe I faced
Hmm.
one like in the battle subway, and it was a special Garchomp. I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna bring out my Tangrowth. Nah, that Tangrowth died so fast because it was a special Garchomp.
Hmm.
It changes the matchup because you
Um.
don't know what to expect.
Oh, and another thing that I should mention beforehand is that, of course, you're unlike with the Smogon format of battling, you still have to deal with what we love to call hacks. In other words, Thunderwave, Confuse Wave, Minimize, other Evasion BS, Baton Pass, what else? No Sleep Clause.
Oh
Um,
yeah, no sleep clause. That's a thing.
mm,
Ooh, evasion.
mhm. You don't
Jeez.
know how many times I've had to read the lines of X hurt itself in confusion. X is paralyzed. It can't move.
Oh my
You don't know
god.
how many times I've had to put up with that.
Dude, one day you'll get your revenge. One day you'll get your revenge. You'll go into a game and you'll have a Klefki, and the Klefki will have Thunderwave and Swagger.
Dude, this is Gen 4 we're talking about.
I know. One day though, when you play Gen 6, I don't know if Gen 6 is Battle Factory, but or
Battle Mansion,
No.
equivalent.
the trash word. Yeah.
So the Battle Mansion, I've been in the Battle Mansion, but I have to use Wi-Fi to connect to other people to use it, if I'm not
What?
mistaken. And what I learned from
No,
it,
no,
What?
you don't. If you want to do multi battles, you do, but no.
well, I'm confused about the Battle Mansion that I passed on, like, I think Route 8, Route 7 or 8 in XY.
Oh yeah, that's also a thing. Apparently, all these battle facilities also have like a doubles and kind of multi-battle mode, where you can also like kind of connect with other players to like do that with. But I haven't really seen how that works out yet.
Uh,
In Gen 5, we didn't have battle mansions or
we had the Battle
battle
Subway,
factories. We had the battle subway,
which
right?
had a bunch
And
of
the
different
battle
trains that you get on, and they were all like just different types of battle format, and I loved that.
Yeah. Well, my favorite part with is that you had medals that corresponded to if you won the boss battle of the battle subway, and that if you beat them all, then you got like an award inside your own room for your home.
And to do that, you have to be Ingo and what's his name, right?
Emmett?
You have to beat Ingo. You have to beat I forgot what the other one's name was,
Yeah, I never
but
remember
it
the
was
other
really
one.
cool. The loser,
The
because
loser.
if no, the loser, because who really if you're not remembered, then you're really a loser, man.
I mean, some of those battles were hard. Like once you like got enough battle streaks going, some of the battles do really do get hard. And I'm sure Flam, you can definitely express that.
Yeah.
That's
There
yeah.
were even times where I had like an absolute primal fear seeing um yeah, what other cuts? Can't really recall any experience at the moment, but like in the early streaks, I get like an absolute primal fear the moment I see Primeape, Sharpedo. Even like on like the first streak, I get terrified when I see an Apom.
Oh god, because Apom has that stat stick early on.
Hmm. Not to mention they were. I feel like they were a little bit biased with some of the move sets where they actually work because they fully capitalize on its technician fake out, and they gave it also double hit and a silk scarf to boot, and also U-turn
Ooh.
and T-way annoy you even further.
Oh
But
no,
and that's
that's
just one and that's just one example of one of those disgusting move sets. We're only scratching a very mild surface here.
shit.
Put a pin in Sharpedo as well, because I will be ranting about that thing for a certain other facility as well. But yeah, I don't really think I can do the Battle Factory justice with my own words, to be honest. It's really something you have to experience for yourself and just F around and see what the game gives you and how that works out for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, next up, the best facility. Well, I probably am best off with just men talking about the next most distinct facility of them all, the battle hall. What this one boils down to is that you get to pick one Pokemon to fight your entire way through. It's basically just a 1v1 format.
Oh, this is my favorite one because you've told me a bit
With
about this.
Yeah, it's so like this. It has the incentive of win with your favorite Pokemon, and the way that it does this is you get like at the start of every streak, you get like a panel of all the Pokemon types, and you can get to pick your opponent. Words. You just get to pick your opponent for like the entirety of the streak. And also, what's unique to this facility is that every streak lasts 10 battles instead of 7, and that's for a good reason because the the choices and the types you have, after every opponent that you defeat of that particular type, the the corresponding type then proceeds to rank up, and you get higher leveled opponents and such. Because the main like the only advantage that you have in the battle hall is that the Pokemon that you face off against tend to be a little bit lower level and also have like fairly limited move sets to compensate for only being to go in with one.
Mm.
So naturally you'd want to like eliminate the types that you have the worst matchup against first to prevent them from ruining your streak like halfway through because once once the typing reaches rank 10, it cannot be challenged anymore, and you don't have to worry about it. But because, of course, you'll be facing off against a lot of dual-typed opponents, some ones that you might fear or are like the biggest run killer out there, they can still reappear on some of the other types. Like, say, if I if I feared a Sharpedo ruining my run, it and eliminated in water, it can still appear if I pick a dark opponent, for instance.
Right.
And the reason why I bring up Sharpedo of all Pokemon is because they had the audacity to have sets in the battle, because the battle hall sets are also like completely different from the ones that you encounter in the battle factory and all of the other facilities, because they are like adjusted to compensate for the 1v1 format and all. They usually like only have like stat moves, a few status moves, or just usually pretty impractical move sets otherwise.
So in this
But they had,
format, they're like geared for one-on-one matchups.
well, I wouldn't say that necessarily, because it is of course very different from the 1v1 format that you'd be familiar with on Showdown.
Well, yeah, obviously, because that one you
Mhm.
pick three Pokemon, you send one out, the other one sends one out, and then you battle to the death.
Yeah, because some of these movesets aren't exactly like operating on that whole philosophy and all that, but they had
It's more aggro.
I I don't really know how to describe it, because even when I look at some of these movesets, it's pretty confusing on what I really think about them, because they're not really like all that remarkable in any sense, or just it's just really normal stuff. And some there are a few unorthodox things with certain status moves, but really there's not really much I can say on them other than the fact that they were really cheap in adding having a few months available that carry focus sashes,
Oh,
and
the
Sharpedo is one of them.
and Sharpedo. I'm gonna just take a guess. It has probably Waterfall or whatever water move,
Mhm.
Crunch, Ice Fang or Ice Beam, and I don't know what its fourth move would be.
The fourth move is Zen Headbutt.
Zen Headbutt.
The
Oh my
problem with
god.
Yeah. So I am attempting to run through the battle hall with a Choice Banded Dragonite with Outrage, Superpower, Extreme Speed, and Fire Punch to cover as much as possible, to hit everything as hard as possible before they can do anything. And this Sharpedo has been the cause of many failed runs, and the reason why I eliminated Water and Dark right off the bat. Because not only does this thing have a Sash and Ice Fang to dispatch me, this you have to remember that Sharpedo only has Rough Skin in this gen.
Yeah.
So I cannot go for Superpower because it would lower my defense and just be it would I would just instantly die to Ice Fang, because even at lower levels I can still live it after like one like uh, I have to hit. Okay, no. How do I best say this?
You have to
I have
hit
to.
E speed twice, right?
Yep. So I have to take the rough skin chip twice, and then once lift the ice fang, and then proceed to live another round of rough skin chip.
So you literally are dependent on rolls because Dragonite does not have multi-scale until Gen 5 as a hidden
Mm-hmm.
ability. And since this is
Yeah.
still strictly Gen 4, you just don't flinch. You have inner focus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Granted, that is kind of, yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's rough. And coming from a Sharpedo, because that thing hits so hard.
Yeah, like I have to, like my Dragonite often like has to and ends up living on like the 10 HP, or just generally within an inch of its life.
Yeah. No, I can see that. And I think you said Weavile's another Pokemon that gets Focus Sash before in that
Yeah.
format? And Weavile's another one that's just disgusting because it's a Weavile.
And also just also has a nasty eye shard on top of hitting incredibly hard with its stabs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thankfully haven't run into it ever so far, which is a blessing in of itself. But there are still some other sash users that are particularly notable. First off, there are some sash users that just straight up have counter in their moveset.
Oh, what, like Lucario?
Nope. You won't guess it.
I'm not gonna guess it.
Chansey.
Oh
Nope.
my god! That would make me so mad if there was a Sash Chansey that had counter and I used my Machamp and I hit whatever fighting move and it lives on one and counters me. I would be livid. Alakazam.
Nope.
I'm trying to think of what else gets countered. Clearly not Wobbuffet, although that is probably a thing you can run into and don't want to run into.
I haven't so far.
Well, Wobbuffet doesn't have a lot of base stat total outside of its HP. Like, its stats are otherwise non-existent, so I don't imagine it'd probably be like an earlier on in the streak you would face that on Psychic rather than later.
No, these are like in the final group that like only appear at rank 9.
Oh, all of them.
Yeah, so that would be a fully evolved mod. No.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll give you a small hint. It's Gen 2. It's a Gen 2 mod.
mod.
Okay.
Quagsire?
Gotcha.
Nope.
Hitmontop? Why would
No.
Hitmontop even be Sash? Hitmontop's bulky. I'm going to think of this, because, like, I'm trying to think of, like, dominating counter Pokemon. I don't think Gengar even learns it.
Oh,
Gengar was Gen 1, so never mind that.
Jinx. That would be hilarious. No?
No.
That would be hilarious. Nicki Minaj just counters you.
I mean, she can definitely counter me with them cheeks, but, my gluteus maximus
I'm gonna
does
ignore
not
that.
exactly measure up, if you know what I'm saying.
All right. Shall I just say, or do you have
us.
Scizor.
It's Meganium and Scizor.
Running Focus Sash counter.
Yep.
Meganium and Scizor. Two exceptionally... I didn't know Meganium even got counter. I didn't know Scizor got counter. But to top that off, two incredibly bulky Pokemon that are difficult to down in one hit, especially in Scizor's case. Because this is Gen 4, where it resists everything that it's not weak to.
Fire.
Yeah, but literally, fire is the only way to beat a Scizor, or an incredibly powerful fighting move, or Earthquake. Like, that's it.
Or hitting it really hard on the special side.
But even on the special side, you'd have to hit it with what? Your options are water,
electric.
Water and electric.
Gen 4 is a special physical split. So
yeah,
I
it
assume,
is.
like,
It is. But you gotta keep in mind,
Blast.
there's not really many special fighting type users. Like, the only one that I can think of in Gen 4 is Lucario as a special fighting type, and no one even runs it special. It still gets run physical. So I'm trying to think of, like, other things, because obviously Ghost and Dark, it resists that, so it just doesn't care. Like, what? I'm still baffled. Who made that executive decision to put Focus Sash on them?
Oh, it gets better with the Focus Sash users. No, it actually is a starter, but not any of them. It is a Focus Sash, Yawn, Protect, Blastoise.
What?
Yeah.
My brain is shattered. Someone help me pick up the pieces. What?
No, you're
What
on
did
your
I
own.
just? I just heard Focus Sash Blastoise. But to make it better, Focus Stash Yawn Protect?
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
the
dude, you're making me yawn.
It's
Yawn
kind of
is
ingenious, really.
Yawn is fine on. Is it so it always gets the yawn off?
Pretty much.
So it's literally saying I need to max sleep turns to beat X threat in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are the other two moves? What, like Surf and Ice Beam?
Hydro Cannon and Return.
Hydro Cannon? Return makes no sense. Hydro Cannon makes sense. I would have said Ice Beam, because that gives you an incredibly good plethora of coverage. Oh my god, that is an ingenious set, but oh my god.
But yeah, if you
It's
were
still.
to take a look, if you were to take a look at the list of the sets that these things have, just hit a Bulbapedia if you want to, but you'll probably be baffled if you have like any semblance of knowledge on competitive mons whatsoever.
Oh my
Like this
god.
will give you an absolute brain fart.
I'm going to have to look this up and then run some of these. We can have a
Oh,
Pokemon
go ahead.
Showdown podcast at some point in time because we can just record Pokemon Showdown. Um,
And we probably will.
we probably will because we're Pokemon lovers, but we'll have other episodes too.
So I only really touched the surface on like the mechanics of the battle hall itself and some of the shenanigans that you can run into, but I haven't even gotten to the worst part of it yet.
The worst part.
The silver print and the gold print on like when you can face the frontier brain of this facility.
Okay.
The silver one is pretty generous. You just need to that one is 50 battles, which means you can like fully max out 5 types to eliminate first hand. But the gold print, however, oh god, the
Do you
gold
have to
print.
do all 17 types?
Yup.
All 17 available types in Gen 4.
Mm-hmm.
So everything
Yep.
What's wrong
excluding
with?
Fairy, because Fairy doesn't exist. You have
Yeah.
to. So you go from. You only need to beat 5 typings, which you can pick and choose, to
Mhm.
you have to beat 170 battles.
Yeah. And this is what I don't like about the battle facilities as a whole. The whole thing with the streaks and maintaining that when there's like so little room for error is and when being as unforgiving as it is, that's just a big no in my book. What I would do to change it if they ever if they ever made a new battle facility of sorts, which they weirdly haven't, is that I would just make it into like an elo system or have certain checkpoints in between that you can save your streak at, because this is it is unbelievably brutal.
I can
and
imagine.
You
I
mean
probably
was.
like
and it's probably
Battle
like
Subway?
hmm?
Because in Battle Subway you could save in between your streaks.
I don't remember because I haven't played that one yet.
Yeah,
I
so
don't.
in
I
in
know you
battles
did
in
save between your streaks, but I know if you lost, you just had to restart from the beginning anyway, didn't you?
you
Hmm.
you did, but here's how it works. So in Gen 5, when you go into the Battle Subway, you get on at like the end of a train, and then you work your way all the way towards the front. Every single train that it has that that's there has 7 battles that you have to get through, and once you get through the 7th one, you get a break, right?
Uh huh.
Save, and there's like a little rest stop, and you can get items there, and then you can go up and leave, and then you can come back and continue the streak.
Okay.
Like just
Um,
whenever you please.
yeah, so you could get like there's vending machines there, water, There's the water bottles, lemonades, the soda pops, all of that's
And you
there.
like also
You can't.
like still have access to like the BP exchange corner, that one,
Yeah, they
where
even
you
have
get the
like
TMs and
NPC.
all.
Yeah, they have NPCs there that you could talk to, talking about like the next battles. Heck, in the multi train where you can in the multi train one you can uh grab you can go to it, and if you don't have a friend, they'll send you like the other protagonist of the game. So if you played as a girl, they'll show like Nathan
Like you
of
just get
the male
the protagonist of the
protagonist.
opposite gender
Yeah.
with you, and they have like their own sort of canonical team of sorts.
Yeah, and it's broken.
If I remember
It's
correctly, one of them
undeniably
straight up has the
broken.
Archeops, I think.
One, no, they have a Haxorus.
Oh,
They have a Dragon Dance Haxorus with
oh
Earthquake,
God!
Dragon Claw, and something else that's just I forgot the last move slot. So it's Dragon Dance, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, and then one other move.
I have the
But
most important question:
they have
Is
like
this
sheer
Haxorus
cold. They have sheer cold. What's the ice cream Pokemon?
Vanillux?
Vanillux.
Vanillix. They have a sheer cold Vanillix. They have a sheer cold Bear Tick, I believe, with sheer cold Icicle Crash. It has either Slush Rush
Doesn't get Slush Rust. It's not an
or
ability until Gen 7 or 8.
So it's Swiss Swim,
Yeah,
actually.
it's
Swift
Swift
Swim.
Swim.
Yeah.
I just
But
checked, and yeah,
it
holy
just
shit.
it's ridiculous. Like it's so unbelievable. It's unbelievable how broken the other protagonist is.
Now,
Some of the
You
other monsters that I'm
is
seeing
it
are
you
oh,
you can literally, I'm not even joking. I've gone there on my first playthrough, went into the battle subway, and you can bring your own mons in there, right? I brought
yeah.
my level 25 Pig Knight and ran through and beat the multi train
because of the team?
because it just carried. It straight up O code everything in its path.
Is it Rivalry Haxorus or Moldbreaker? That's the most important question.
I
The thing is, all these are usually
think it's
random, I think.
rivalry.
Okay,
I think
Rivalry
it's
is
rivalry.
objectively worse than Moldbreaker because
I
Rivalry,
can
obviously.
check. I can check. Hold on.
Yeah. It's not that
It's
Rivalry
always
can't
random.
work, it's just that it's
Always.
gimmicky.
Feel like oh, and while we segued
I
off talking about the battle subway, I haven't even mentioned the worst part
oh
about the battle hall yet.
You
oh
still
wait.
haven't?
Aside
I
from
thought you did.
I'm
aside from the
sorry.
170 battle requirement for the gold print, the Frontier Brains one is completely random, and it like takes from the same base stat total as your chosen one, and at the same level.
So you could just since you're using Dragonite, you
Yeah,
could randomly just be facing a Garchomp, which just automatically beats you because it's just a faster dragon. Uses Dragon Move, you die.
yeah, that's something I can do.
Oh man, and that means you, by extension, you also could face Latios, which also just beat you with Dragon Move. Oh no. Yeah, I need to teach you about the Sash Dragonite. Because I think that's the one you might need to go with, as opposed to Choice Band.
I am still like waiting on when Vagon will be able to spawn in the Safari Zone because you know, Heart Gold Soul Silver Safari Zone mechanics. I am not gonna go into depth about this because it confused the living hell out of me as well.
Oh,
Oh my god, I'm losing my voice. But
drink some
let's
water.
just say I won't have it for a very long time because I feel like a banded Salamence would probably do me a lot better here, with the exception of not having extreme speed.
Well, no, it's the thing. That's why people use Banded Dragonite over Salamence, is legitimately because of extreme speed. It's just that priority move actually like allows Dragonite to beat so many Pokemon that it otherwise wouldn't be able to beat. And Salamence has Quick Attack, which just isn't as strong, doesn't have as high a priority bracket, meaning it can still be outsped by a Weavile's Ice Shard, for instance. And it's not until Mega Salamence that actually becomes like a real move you run on Salamence. I'm not saying Quick Attack isn't a real move, but it's not a real move because it's not a strong move. Not really.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but if you're going to run Salamence, it would actually still be better sashed. And this is because Gen 4, you don't have multi-scale Dragonite. So Gen 4, you have Intimidate on Salamence, which is far better than Inner Focus on Dragonite. You're faster because of Intimidate. You're actually a bit bulkier than Dragonite. And it's mostly that speed thing. Dragonite has Salamence beat in terms of all the coverage Dragonite gets, because it gets elemental punches, it gets, I believe...
Superpower.
Yeah, it gets superpower, hydro pump, you can run special physical. Dragonite can run damn near anything and be great. Salamence has a more limited moveset, so you're more limited to Outrage, maybe Fly if you're daring, or Hidden Power Flying, since... Well, no, because it wouldn't be physical in Gen 4, because physical special split.
No, that's only in that's what
Gen
they run
3.
in Gen 3.
Yeah, Gen 3 was Hidden Power Flying.
Dear God. Oh my
So,
God, I'm looking at the team. Okay, so oh my God, they have an Excadrill, a Conkeldurr, a Reuniclus, a Scavalier, Electros, Haxorus, Chandelure. They have a Beartic, Golurk, Mishin,
and tell me, wait, stop. Tell me one thing. How many of them all have Swords Dance or some other buffing move, or like Calm Mind?
almost every single one of them.
Is it Calm
Yep,
Mind?
that's what I thought.
They have a Defiant Bisharp with Iron Head, Sucker Punch, Low Sweep, Night Slash, holding a Choppleberry.
Oh my God, the tech!
Wait. They have a second one too, with Focus Sash, Taunt, Sucker Punch, Rock Smash, and Iron Head.
I would purposely be using Defog on that Bisharp. Like,
oh my
for
God,
real.
They have, oh my God, they have a Choice Banded Archeops with Earthquake, Head Smash, U-Turn, and Aerial Ace. Gross.
It's gonna kill one Pokemon. That's it.
God.
It will head smash one Pokemon and never do anything else again.
They have White Herb Overheat Chandelure.
I do remember that one. I remember that one because I was just like, wait, it doesn't have its stat drop. That was the first time I experienced White Herb too. Because I was just like, wait, it just said it lowered its special attack harshly. And then it didn't. And I was just like, oh, this item's broken.
The Excadrill is even worse because you gotta remember 5th gen is the weather. It's known for being the weather generation.
It's the Weather War generation.
It's the Weather War generation. And it's stacked with Earthquake, Aerial Ace, Poison Jab, Rock Slide, Life Orb.
So and get yourself Sandstorm, and that's all you need, really.
Yeah.
And then the other one has Swords Dance with it.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh my God. It's got Swords Dance with Dig, but still, none of the opponents have Earthquake, with the exception of... None of the opponents really have, like, Earthquake, which is crazy.
That's wild. Dang, I really want to play. I cannot wait for, hopefully, the next 4 or 5 years when they do another Pokemon game. Because I'm going to be honest, I really want them to take their time of going into Black and White remakes. Because that's
The main gripe that I have is that like we also like won't be having any of the Black and White 2 content because they'll probably forsake that, just like
just like they did with Platinum.
they completely disregarded Emerald and Platinum
Yeah.
with the other remakes.
And it's like, if I'm not mistaken, Emerald, like, I think most people say out of, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Emerald's their favorite, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. And it's the same with Black and White 2. Like, Black and White 2 is just even better than Black and White. Like, they're both phenomenal.
But it's mostly also because they both work off of each other instead of just being, oh, here's the same game but better. No, just a straight up sequel, and then
Yeah.
no,
Oh, kitty.
you can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
And that's the
Oh my-
problem if they want to go into Black and White
Kidding.
with the remakes, or they just have to do a Legends Arceus style prequel of sorts.
She was sleeping.
Oh my god.
What
I
the
love
hell?
Black and White 2.
Winry,
They
your sister
have-
was sleeping.
What was she doing?
So,
What the cat
okay.
doing?
I have a big white cat called Mifa, and I have a little calico cat called Winry. Winry has been asleep in my lap the entire time we've been doing this podcast today. Until just now, she gets off my lap, walks around my desk that I don't want her to walk on, jumps into the chair that Mifa has been sleeping in. She's got the sunlight on her. She has been snoozing. Winry just jumps on top of her and starts biting her.
Oof.
good
And I'm just
cat.
watching a cat fight, literal cat fight, right now. And all the noise you may or may not be hearing on my desk is my cat Mifa just leaving. And now Winry is just in the chair like it was hers the entire time.
If it makes you feel better, that's just the offensive sets in Black 2 and White 2 that he provides. He has defensive Pokemon like Regenerator Mungus, Shadow Tag Gothitelle.
No, Amoonguss is broken because I know it has Spore on it.
It has Ferrothorn,
Oh, big Pharaoh.
Mandibuzz.
God, I miss Ferrothorn.
They have defensive Durant. Oh my god, it's Baton Pass.
Defensive, but so what? Home Claws Durant?
It's got Dig, Iron Defense, Agility, and Baton Pass, but it has a Power Herb with it.
Oh, so Dig is a one-turn move.
Oh, gross.
Oh, dude, look at this Will-O-Wisp Toxic Hex called Minecraft for Grigas.
They
Ooh.
have. Oh my god, that's evil. They have
Wait, they have Entrainment.
Truant.
Yeah.
They have Entrainment
Yeah.
Truant Durant.
I ran into one of those on Pokemon Showdown once, and I was just like, this is one of the most disgusting techs ever. Just ever. I was like, oh, you have Truant now. Oh, I'm out. You deal with this problem now.
Simple but effective.
Yes, and people used it. This is when Doug Trio was legal because of Arena Trap, and it just get +6 and win the game.
Yep.
Pokemon's balanced.
It just be like
everyone.
that.
Pokemon is a fair and balanced game, meaning
Hence
if you
by the
are
all the-
unlucky, get over it, noob. Get your luck up.
I do sometimes wonder if the listeners have actually experienced any of these.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, the question for our listeners today is how badly I deserve to be flogged for being 4 minutes late to our podcast.
Should he deserve death? Yes.
Oh my God!
comment down below.
Stop!
Well, speaking of death, this probably
I'm-
segues into the next facility that I want to talk about in the Battle Frontier, and that is the Battle Arcade.
I know nothing about this one. I haven't even heard about this from you.
So this one, I actually don't have a whole lot to talk about on this one because this is actually the first facilities that I actually fully completed and got the gold print on. Because the main gimmick of this facility is that at the start of every battle, you have a sort of like wheel panel thing that spins around and is able to like alter the battle by adding a certain gimmick to it, like certain permanent weather, so applying status to one side of the
Oh,
field.
so it's like
Um,
it's like a roulette wheel for
yep.
your battle setting.
Other such effects are that you can like get held items, or you can increase or decrease the levels of one side of the field.
Oh, so I'm assuming that you can also roll, like, randomly spin and get a negative thing for you.
Yep. hmm Like even some of the ones that would be good on paper, like the held items, you can also just get iron balls on all of your mines.
Oh no! Oh, I was thinking, oh, held items would be so good, and then I'm like, oh wait, they have a lot of bad
Mhm.
ones. Lagging
Oh,
tail.
but it gets better. There's even a panel that swaps your mons with the opponents.
What?
You heard me right.
Swaps your Pokemon with your opponents.
Yep.
So like, your opponent could just have a Budew, and now they have like a Dragonite for the
Yep.
Budew.
That's the whole gist of it.
But
I
you
haven't
have
had
to
that
go into
happen.
that facility with the same train of thought. The higher you go into it, the harder the mons will be.
Oh yeah, and also the roulette will go faster every streak,
Oh
and
no.
also there will also be like more negative effects on the board every streak too. So that's a fun
Oh.
one.
I see why you called this one Death.
hmm
The
hmm
Thanos of the battle facilities. Oh god. But I liked having my Staraptor. I don't want to have a Pidgey.
Oh no, don't you worry. That tile occurs very rarely.
But even if
Here's a
it's
sun
rarely,
turn,
you
guys.
know it
I
will
hope you
happen.
enjoy it.
So that
But
actually
I don't.
sounds like a lot of fun. I'm not even gonna lie. It
Mhm.
would make me
Yeah,
mad, but in that fun mad kind of way.
yeah. There's a reason why I've called these frustratingly fun facilities for a reason.
Yeah, it's like it, because that actually sounds like an actual arcade machine. Because the last time I went to an arcade was about a month ago. Um, it's a really nice place. It's a barcade, so bar. You get drunk a little bit. I was the designated driver, so I did not get drunk, fortunately, because I am a responsible citizen. Um, so I didn't get drunk, but we had a great time. My Emily got hammered pretty hard, and then her sister and sister's partner, um, they also drank a little bit, and I got Emily. I'm trying to remember what I got her because I bought her a couple drinks as well. But anyway, like there's a lot of arcade machines there, and Donkey Kong was among them. It turns out we all suck at Donkey Kong, but there was another one there that I remember liking a lot. I don't remember what it was called, but the entire goal of the game was to walk across sandwiches and make sure that they fell down a ladder and make a burger. That is the entire goal of the game, and you're doing this while not getting bombarded with sausage, eggs, lettuce, I think is what it was. They were just like these random ingredients that were chasing you and trying to hunt you down and unalive your pixel body.
That's quite so.
And I was good at that game. I liked that game a lot. um, but yeah, it was frustrating because some of it seemed kind of random as to how the things moved. Because it was just like, all right, is it going up or down? And I'd have to wait for it, and the things chasing me would get closer, and it just wasn't fun. And some of the things chasing me would go the wrong direction, but some of them wouldn't, and it got confusing. Anyway. But yeah, it was
Yeah,
frustratingly fun.
that about covers the battle arcade, and we finally arrived at the battle castle, which also is quite something to say the least. First off, you don't get to keep your held items in this one for a reason. The whole gimmick of the battle castle is that you pretty much have a separate currency that you like gain after every battle, depending on your performance in battle, which implies like how many months did or didn't faint, at what HP they're at, how much PP you used in the battle, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So the more once you eventually accumulate enough points, you can like spend them on certain effects like healing up your mons, like also including the PP, which you also need to rank up the healing option for. You can also rank up the items you can get, so you can get like actually get boosting items or resist berries or something along those lines. There are also like other unique effects such as being able to examine what mons your opponent has, or you can even like increase or decrease their levels. Yeah, that about sums it up. And like the main difficulty with this one is like accumulating and managing enough points to like last through the entire thing. Like I feel like this is definitely one of the more generous ones when it comes to the 50 streak.
Oh,
Wow,
no.
even saying that really fills me with dreads. Whew. That that's basically all I've got on the Gen 4 Battle Frontier.
Well, that's a lot of information.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was fun. I have learned a lot, and I'm sure that we can have more of these if one of us gets into the battle facilities a bit more. I will say it feels like after Heart Gold Soul Silver, there seems to be, at least in my opinion, less. Or maybe Black White 2, or Black White 2, because the battle subway is incredible, but I feel like there's just less battle facilities now than there used to
Wait,
be.
you are how can you guys forget the Pokemon World Tournament in Black and White 2?
Oh God, I
I
forgot.
didn't.
I did forget about
I
that.
didn't.
I
I
haven't played.
didn't.
I
I didn't want
haven't
to say
played.
anything. Does that count?
Huh?
Does
Wait,
that?
what did you say?
Are we counting that? Because if we're
Yeah,
counting
yeah, it
that,
counts.
then I'm gonna go into a long rant about it.
Yep,
Oh, okay. Well,
this is your
maybe
your turn to shine.
we do
Uh,
that
Go on
in
ahead.
another episode.
or maybe we could, or maybe I could just grab the guillotine for you being 4 minutes late.
You can grab it. Doesn't mean that I'll get into it.
Alright, guys, next time on CD's Nuts podcast, we are going to put Seahor in this guillotine.
Please
You guys
don't
can't see
drop the
it, but you
rope.
get the idea.
I
Yeah,
don't. I
you.
don't. I would. I'd prefer to stay alive a little longer.
Well, that's unfortunate for you.
That's
Anyway,
unfortunate for more people than just me. I mean, I have people that love me and care about me, and definitely don't want to see me go away like that. I think that would be
I'm glad you
devastating.
think that, but it's for the content. I'm sure
And
you
also also
understand.
my guy wouldn't be able to see these nuts later. And with that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Peace, everybody.